Hello, beautiful light-filled souls. So today I want to quickly go over something that I see on Facebook group post, and I have been asked countless times since I've started talking about my near-death experience. And one of the messages from the other side is love is all that matters, and many people misinterpret love. And so I would like to define more in a series of videos of what that actually means and how it can help your life and how it can help you love better and feel more love, because essentially that's the main question that people keep asking is, hey, if that message of love from the other side is the most important thing, nobody loves me and my life is devoid of love, so is my life devoid of meaning? No. And it's not about you being the receiver of love, it's you being the transmitter of love. And I think that's what the near death experience really just taught me on a basic level, was that God fills us with, you want to call it God, divine love, source, energy, whatever. There is this non-stop flow of love that is available to each of us at all times, and we block ourselves from it. And my entire message is turn on your light. So it's like literally you are the cord and you can plug yourself into the socket, which is that flow of love. So someone doesn't like you and you like them, so what? Plug yourself into the light. I know, easier said than done. That um, we want love from other people. We give love as human beings sometimes quite conditionally, thinking, oh, if I do this for you, you'll like me more. Or if I do this and I'm kind all the time, lots of people will like me. No, that's not necessarily the truth. The truth is there's this unconditional flow of love. And so if your ego is hurt, you're insecure, you're feeling bad, that's a sign that you can turn to God for more love. Not that you turn outward to others to get love. I'm not saying that you can't get help and that friends can't be supportive and that there aren't amazing counselors who can right your actions when you're off base, but I'm saying that that message from the heavens is really just a message of the key is in your hands. The key to love, to feeling that source energy, is in your hands, and it's about being more open. I just had a great talk with Kelvin Chin. You might check out that interview, but he talks about meditation and how meditation is this gateway to greater peace in one's life in all areas. So work, relationships, just general health. And a lot of times meditation also opens us up to realize that we are vaster than ourselves. So I misunderstood that message from heaven at times, that I didn't misunderstand the energy. So I always knew that that love of God, as soon as I experienced it, was the truth. And that love, that divine energy that can flow through us, is important. So what if you feel cut off from that? How do you start to open that sense of love that is available to you? Meditation, prayer, spiritual groups, these are ways to begin. I often remind people to go to nature too, as a way to get more in touch with greater peace that can open them up to that expansiveness, but on a real world level. So the hardest place probably for all people, including myself, to be just a transmitter of love and not to expect anything is in romantic relationships or close relationships, because there is so much cultural baggage of, say you're a woman, how women should be treated, how, she should be taken out. And, there's a lot of cultural ideas about how love should be expressed. But really, you have to know yourself. What do you need? And you have to communicate that, and someone else has to communicate it as well. And there's a lot of communication that has to go on. There can be all kind of assumptions and relationships go awry. But one of the ways that I misunderstood love after my near-death experience in romantic relationships, and I did not write about this too much in the memoir, was cultural norms and cultural ideas of being a woman. And oh, this guy didn't do this thing for me, he must not love me, or, this didn't happen, so, just knock him off. And, but, all these reasons why I wouldn't love, instead of just being a transmitter of love. And then if something wasn't working out, lovingly release that and go, this is just not the right situation for me, but gosh, I wish you all the best. And, that's where love it's a twofold thing. So, this can get really complicated if we start talking about narcissism and abusive relationships. And I'm just talking about, the more early stages of a new relationship. I'm not talking about all the complexities, because that will have to be much longer videos, and it's just a much more intense topic. But in terms of being this loving person, it's really easy when you're given a platform. So it's much easier for me to love many anonymous people, and for me to see when someone doesn't like my message to go, okay, well, they're irritated, they're having a bad day, they're judgmental, that's on them. That has nothing to do with the fact that I was trying to improve your relationships and your life and your connection to God. Have a good day. That's a lot easier than when someone close to you points out the ways that you perhaps aren't behaving well or meeting their needs, or it becomes a lot more painful and a lot more complicated. And then your humanness and your own baggage can get involved. But how do you jump out of that? The quicker you can get to that flow of, am I being a transmitter of love in this situation, no matter how it turns out? Or am I being someone who is expecting something, needing something, pulling someone in a direction because of what I need, thinking about my hurts and wounds and my past? And if I am, then I'm not being a transmitter of love. I'm just being someone lost in the past, lost in wounds. And it's a tough realization, but it's a good realization. Now, why I always tell people to go out into the world and be of service is it's easier to love that way. And I think about, even at the end of life, perhaps when maybe I don't have much energy, will I still have a little energy to volunteer at different places and transmit love to the people there, to the animals there, to the environment there in that situation? I'm sure that I will. And that might be the form of love that I leave this world with. And that's fine. That's beautiful because it's meaningful. There's so many parts to this too that, I'll break down at another point in time. But one thing that I wanted to comment on too is, well, what if you love your art work? What if you love your job, your passion? What if you love what you're doing, what you're creating? That's a form of love too. So it's not just loving people, it's sometimes loving what you do, loving creating a brilliant lesson, loving writing a chapter. It doesn't mean that the rest of the world is guaranteed to love it. You are in the creative stage as a creator. You love it. So you did it for the love of that art. You did it for the love of that experience. And in that moment, you were love, and then you release it and it flies free. So I am going to break down a series of talks on love and how to express more love and feel more love in your life in areas of work, in areas of creativity, in areas of relationships, in areas of your service, and really cover how that love of divinity, that love of the other side can switch you on and off and add astronomical value to everything that you do. Because I'm going to give you just one quick key and leave you with this, and I hope you're as amused by it as I am. But I asked my angels, I said, hey, angels, my neck's kind of hurting and my body's kind of tired, and I'd like to retire. I'd like to get rich tomorrow and just retire. And I said, could you just fill me with those angelic codes and those light codes that will just show me how to do this? And they didn't laugh at me, but they handed me a lot of light and a lot of knowing. And in that moment, they said, yeah, what we're filling you with is love. And you need more love in this moment. You need more love and light so that your body doesn't hurt as much. You need more love and light so that you have energy to help other people. You need more love and light to enjoy every day of your life as if it is your last, to savor your coffee, to appreciate your friends, to reach out to people with joy, and that is your eternal wealth. And I was like, oh, that's deep. So the journey unfolds in various ways, but I tell you, every greatest lesson, it's always love. Whatever problem there is, the answer, love. Whatever it is you want, the answer, love. And it may seem simplified, but when you really dig down and really look at it, it's the greatest healer. Love is the greatest healer in my life. And when I wrote this book, Angels in the OR, I wrote it with this hope that, at the end of the book, I'm beginning, and this is about almost 10 years ago now, the book ends quite a long time ago. I was beginning to love myself and heal myself with that knowledge from the other side. And so I hoped that I left people with, both the struggle, the human struggle, but the answer. And the answer is that the kingdom of heaven is open to you. You don't have to have a near-death experience. You just don't have to. You can just open yourself, awaken, and be in that flow. And I know a lot of people are in search of that moment, and we'll get to that in other topics as well. But I just want to leave you with the kingdom of heaven is open to you. Love is open to you. You are that light socket that can plug into that divinity. And the answer to all your problems is always love. So may you be blessed.